What is up? It's Dakota Layden here from Destination Fear, and you are listening to the Paranormally Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Something weird is going on. Something odd. Something, dare I say, paranormal or strange / mysterious. I don't know, Mike.
Is it just gas?
Is it just gas? Oh, man.
Swamp gas.
You walked all over my intro there, but that's okay. It wasn't a planned intro at all. But I tell you, my mind is kind of is spinning. It's reeling a little bit. Last couple weeks have provided a lot of why are you grinning?
I'm just feeling really bad that I walked all over your wonderful intro.
And that's
because it was going really cool. I really enjoyed it until I screwed it up.
Well, now you're just,
anyway, go ahead.
Now you're just lying through your face there.
Okay, I will lose the grin.
I know. Because most people, when they feel bad, have that shit-eating grin on their face like you just had to. So.
Yeah, well, it's like, I feel bad, but I think it's kind of funny.
No, it is funny. It is funny. No, but we're back. This is, in case you haven't figured it out, this is the Paranormally Zone, your weekly dose of all things, well, you know it, paranormal, strange, and mysterious. My name is Patrick Hoffenberg, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, the soon-to-be incised Michael
Incised.
Incised. That works.
Okay, so
that works, doesn't it?
I'm sure it does, but why don't you explain what's your definition of and application?
Well,
of
incised for me. I'm afraid to explain it because maybe I'll be wrong. But I'm thinking of Mike. He's going to be cut into in the near future for surgery purposes, not because it's not some sick, weird obsession he has.
Well, I was going to take out my own appendix.
Well, that too. Good luck with that one. I'm not going to pay for any medical bills on that one.
Well, I thought we could do a live stream about something like that. But anyway, go ahead.
Do you have numbing agents on hand, or is this going to just be just raw and
pure mind?
Raw, no
mind
pun intended,
control.
Uncut. Oh, pure mind control, even.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's impressive. That's impressive. What a great idea for a live stream.
Just mind control, and as long as I'm holding my monkey, I'll be fine.
His literal stuffed monkey, everybody, get your minds out of the gutter. His Grogu monkey that's now overwhelming my senses as I'm staring into its bleak, black, lifeless eyes. But yet it has
they are, aren't they?
But yet it has the floppy, cute Grogu ears on it. Now,
I picked that up, and I thought it'd be great for my monkey.
Whatever happened? I mean, we kind of stopped doing the brass monkey clip every now and then. We should pull that out of the garbage.
Hey, there's a lot of things we should pull out of the cellar.
Hell yeah. Well, one thing that we're going to be pulling out of the cellar, though, is more YouTube content. That's going to be coming.
I can't wait for that.
Oh, it's going to be cool. Let's get the boring semantics out of the way. No more Patreon plugs because no more Patreon. We decided to call that quits. We gave it the good 2-year college try. And
made $2, so we're good.
About, yeah. So
no, actually, everything that was made was appreciated so much.
Oh heck yeah, no doubt. Gigantic thanks to all the people.
Wonderful.
Gigantic thanks to everyone who signed up and gave our Patreon content a shot. Again, we were proud of it. We are proud of it. But a lot of that video content is going to be making its way over to our YouTube channel now. Go subscribe. Paranormally Zone over at YouTube. Obviously, the regular podcast is available there, but we're going to be posting more and more video stuff. We've been getting lots of requests, and suggestions. You guys need to have more video content out there because apparently people like looking at us.
Yeah, well, they enjoy a good laugh once in a while.
Yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. So
let's see how much Mike has become emaciated now.
Oh yeah, full circle. That goes back to why you are going to be the soon to be in size. Yeah, you're going under the knife to repair that detached bicep of yours.
Yeah, I see the surgeon like in 10 days or something like that. But I did get the results back from my MRI, and it is a complete detachment of the bicep, and plus other tears that I have no idea. They didn't say what that could be or why. So I see the surgeon and I go from there. And that sounds like a surgery that I do not want to go through. I don't want to have to try and recover from.
Well, you gotta do it, man. You can't walk around with a gimp arm for the rest of your life.
And today I picked up my sling from my doctor, so my arm won't be dangling.
Which he is not wearing, by the way, everybody. He is not wearing it.
I gotta get used to it. It sucks. And
how are you going to get used to it when you don't wear it?
How am I going to wipe my butt if my right hand arm is in? I can't do it. I need a bidet or something.
Too much information. Are you ambidextrous?
I'm getting better at it. I tell you what, I can almost eat without spilling anything on my beard or shirt.
Baby steps, my friend, baby steps. So
yes, it is, but it'll be good.
Nope, it's all going to be good, and you're going to make a full recovery.
And how many years have we been talking about my crap that people are like, what's going to happen to him next? No, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, we should, we have briefly considered starting another podcast dedicated solely to Mike's medical updates. So.
I'll give everybody the password to my Sanford, my chart.
I think that'd be cool. Why not, right? But okay, briefly, one more thing, because people are not tuning in to listen to all of our medical chat, but we can't help it because
we got a great show tonight.
I care about Mike. He's a good friend. He's the best podcast co-host in the world.
Well,
so we feel it's important to update our listeners with Mike's current situation and his soon to be wifey's condition as well. I wanted to get this out of the way, Mike. Are you guys sticking with that September wedding date? How the hell are you guys going to physically make it?
We're going to make it. Hey, September 8th.
Do Bridget and I need to sincerely roll you guys down the aisle? She's going to have another hip surgery potentially before then.
Yes.
Your arm who knows what's going to happen to your other working arm in the meantime.
Yep. My back, I have no idea. The nerve abrasion I had 2 weeks ago has done nothing. What else do you want to hear?
Maybe you guys should do a virtual wedding. Maybe a virtual one. You can invite the world to it. You don't have to leave.
It'll be great. It'll be great. And you, as my bestest man at this festivity, keep an eye on me. Help me out.
Well, I'll probably have to walk you down the aisle.
Standing and keep my arm tucked into my sling.
Yeah, most best men stand next to the groom to hold the wedding ring. I'll be there just so you can lean on me, literally.
Yes.
I'll have to brace myself. I can see it right now, but it'll work. It'll work, man. It'll work.
You're gonna make me start singing some Bill Withers here, so we better carry on with what our with our episode.
Well, Mike, I started off by saying, I don't know. It's weird. It's wacky. It's wild. It's weird stuff. What the hell's been going on in the UFO/UAP/aliens world of the unknown out there?
It's a disclosure. Is it, there's just whistleblowing that could lead to disclosure. UAP, UFO sightings, alien sightings. It's crazy.
And we're not talking about just random people whistling as they walk down the road, obviously. Let's make that perfectly clear. No, there's a lot to talk about here, and we're going to cover quite a bit of it. I do have some audio clips to share because, hey, let's be frank. Mike will be Mike, and I'll be Frank.
You can be Shirley.
I can be Shirley as well. These audio clips will do a far better job of explaining and it's a form of storytelling that will come across quite better than Mike and I attempting to regurgitate the news all over our listeners.
And to vomit out information.
What's that guy's name again? The one guy said something. They said something. Aliens. What happened? Blah blah blah. Yeah. But okay, first and foremost, you can always tell I'm flustered when all you hear is like. Oh man, I need help. Chris Walken, do I need help? I mean, I really need to know.
I don't know.
Oh, what the hell good are you? Where do you want to start, Mike? Do you want to start with the whistleblowing? Do you want to start with the supposed disclosure? Do you want to go with the combative nature that's already going on between both sides, of all sides are taking on this story? They got the believers, they got the whistleblowers, you got the skeptics, you got the pseudo-skeptics, and everyone's pointing fingers. No one seems to be working in any matter of cohesion whatsoever, which kind of puts a little negative stamp on it, in my humble opinion.
It does.
Something's there. Something has happened. What is your when it comes to the whistleblower here, the David Grush story, a high level intelligence former member of the military, very young man too, and he's always just really ascended the ranks. Mm-hmm. I'll play a short clip of his interview in a little bit. Long story short, Mike, he came out 2 Tuesdays ago. Basically saying that we as Americans, and the world for that matter, have been lied to by the government for decades upon decades, and that we in fact have in our possession, not we as in Mike and I, but the government / military.
Digging in my backyard.
Hey, that's very true. We have in possession exotic / alien / not of this earth spacecraft. I'm doing that in air quotes. Spacecraft. And also, I
was just joking about that. I don't want any men in black at my house, so go ahead.
Well, thank you for clarifying that, because they're listening right now. They're scrolling all the Apple Podcast logos, and they go, Paranomaly Zone. Uh-oh. Let's go right for those wankers. I love the word wanker.
Good use of the word wanker.
I like that. I don't know why.
For all of our British friends.
But not only does David Grush claim that we have in our possession several spacecraft from origins outside of this earth, but also alien bodies. I mean, this is huge stuff, Mike.
It is
monumental, if true.
And we've heard things like this over the years, over the decades,
We have.
But when you're talking about a whistleblower of this caliber, I mean, it's proven of what his caliber is. I mean, what his credentials are. This, like you said, this isn't Billy Bob out by the still, trying out his goods and thinking he saw something.
It should be pointed out, I think, as well, that it's interesting. It's something to take note of. If this is 195% legit, is it not unbelievably frustrating, Mike, that something this ginormous already seems to have been kind of swept under the rug a little bit. I mean, this should be earth-shattering. You know, I'm not saying we should all be running for the hills and screaming for our lives, or whatever you want to, however you want to describe it. But how is this not more of a? I'm going to sound silly when I say this. How is this not more of a bombshell? How is this not just struck everybody down to the core of what is reality? You know, it's kind of mind blowing to me. Does it seem? Am I overreacting, or does it seem to you?
Well, no, but you know, there's been so much and so many years of disinformation and you know things that are actually seen and shoved under the rug, like you say, and everything, and hushed up, and you know, people being made to think they're crazy. You know, it's just part of the evolution of this whole thing that's going on. If that makes any sense.
No, it does. I believe one description I thought fit it. It was quite apropos. It was called like a soft reveal.
Sure.
As in, you know, it's kind of, and we've talked about this before. It's are they kind of softening the blow for us? You know, are they making it easier to digest?
Yeah. Well, you know, if that theory is correct, that they have the thought of, well, you know, if this is revealed, it will cause mass, you know, panic, and you know, religions will be shut down and everything. It's just, you know, it's going to affect so much. So, you know, a soft reveal, you know, makes sense.
Are you offended that if that is true, that the higher ups feel so that we are so low and we are so incapable of handling any such news of this caliber that we would all just basically melt and refuse to go on living, you know, like the world is just going to break out in utter hysteria. We are incapable. I have a hard time
even figuring that they care, you know, with their own agendas or anything. It's like, you know, whatever happens. I don't know. There's just so many questions and so much disinformation. Like I was saying, you know, we don't know what to think. Mm-hmm. You know, this Grush could be a part of a whole disinformation, part of the agenda they have for reveal or whatever. Mm.
Yep. No, I agree, Mike. I almost called you Macy. Good Lord.
What are you thinking about, my dog or your daughter?
No, the daughter, not your dog for sure. So, no, I agree with you 190% there. It's frustrating. It's maddening. It's intriguing, obviously. You know, and then you kind of have to flip it on its side and say, is all this part of a continued lie? Is this all part of more and further disinformation? And then if so, you have to ask a question, why? Why are they putting this out here now to further their, you know, whatever agenda they may have of lies, continued lies?
Maybe there's something that is kind of brewing and boiling up a little bit in the background that we don't know about with this whole thing, and they need to throw out some little tidbits of
like a cover-up
disinformation or information just to cause that more confusion. It's like you know, they'll like the media, they will focus on something so much, like some kind of a catastrophe or a disaster or you know, whatever. And while that's going on, you know, there's, you know, sightings going on. There's things that should be reported on, but there's so much on the media that's covering something else. It takes away from, you know, what is actually happening and not getting reported on, you know, with the media.
It's like it's like a diversionary tactic.
Exactly. You know, it's hard to even.
It's like, look over here. Look at this supposed whistleblower, and then in the meantime, in the background, something truly unbelievable is happening.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
That's frightening. Man alive.
You know,
I still think that you'd make a great Mr. Grinch or the narrator for Mr. Grinch. You know, that'd be pretty cool. It's been many, many, many years, I think, since you impersonated the Grinch.
You're a mean one. No, I don't want to get into that too much.
Holy cow. That was
Mr. Grinch.
That was impressive. I could probably imitate one of the little kids. That's probably how well.
Well, you know,
partake in this.
What's that, Miss? What's that one? Linda Who or whatever her name was, a little blonde girl.
I think right up my alley. I'm sure I'd sound just like her. Anyways, and then Mike, not only do we have this potentially groundbreaking whistleblowing event that occurred, and like I said, I'm going to share about like a 3.5 minute clip from that David Grush interview, and then coincidentally, then we get these UFO/UAP sightings, potentially a UFO crash, and also alleged alien sightings, all in the Las Vegas area, immediately following this reveal.
Great.
Now, is this potentially part of a legit hysteria? Are people, like some people, freaking out a bit? And so, therefore, everything they see, oh my God, it's a UFO. Oh my gosh, what is that thing in my backyard? Well, it has to be an alien.
Well, the way that was described by the, well, you'll have to play the 911 call because,
oh hell yeah, yeah,
you know, it explains, you know, how can you mistake, I don't know, maybe a bush or a tree or a lamppost for something that is, they describe as 8 feet tall, big black eyes, whatever, you know.
Yeah. No, it's intense to listen to it, that's for sure. And you know, watching the news clips, watching the like the body cam footage of the police officers who investigated that family who called it in, you know, it's my opinion, they seemed totally sincere. They were very, you know, they weren't freaking out by any means. They're very calm, cool, collected. They said exactly what they said on the 911 call. I mean, I found them very believable. I'll just put it at that. What did they see? I don't know. I wasn't there. Now, it should be pointed out here, too, before we share those clips, is that there was a viral video that was going around the world of this supposed backyard, quote-unquote, alien that was seen by this family. And I'll be honest here, for the first time I saw it, as I told you, Mike, when I texted you, I said, like, I felt like laughing because it seemed ridiculous to me. But then I'm like, but it does look good. I believe you're like, I think I like it. I think it looks good too. That's just upon first viewing. And I was doing my best for a while to try and find the source for this video. I was like, where did this thing come from? Is this literally backyard footage from this household that, the family who called in the 911 call? And it took a while to find any sort of connection. And you know how the internet is. You know how social media goes. And this thing was, like I said, it went viral. It went huge. Earlier today, I did come across an article from verify.com. And I'll keep it very brief. They basically said that, to no real shock, that the video was a hoax. It was a blend of the newsreel footage and CGI created alien likeness. And they found the origin of this video goes back to good old TikTok, surprising, shocking, right?
Sure.
I mean, TikTok is like beyond gigantic, and there's so many creative users out there, Mike, who just know how to use their software, their apps, anything to make anything look believable and pretty cool. But one of the dead giveaways from this TikTok video was the hashtag that was used in the original posting. The hashtag included Blender 3D, which is a computer graphics program.
Geez.
It's a computer graphics program, and so he was, even though the guy posted and said, like, gosh, I really should stop looking for creepy things in my backyard. Like he put it off as if it was real, but then he did the hashtag of what his software was called. But this thing still went viral, of course.
Yeah,
it was the perfect timing to post this thing. And we'll get into some of the confusion that I had, shocking. Patrick's confused. Yeah, every now and then it happens. But some of the dates when it comes to like the police body cam footage and the date when the 911 call was placed. Because the 911 call was placed in late April, actually. And the way that it was spun and went viral recently was that it was placed after this whistleblower event took place.
Right.
But this was back in April. And so there was confusion going on there.
Still relatively recent. I mean,
yeah, definitely relatively recent and similar in time and date to the police body cam footage that captured that just a blazing ball of light crashing through the sky. And it's like, what the hell was that thing? So we'll talk about that as well. Lots of stuff going on, Mike. Where should we start? Should I play the David Grush interview clip here?
Yeah, that really puts out a lot of insight on, what we've been talking about and where this whole thing is going.
This was originally aired on News Nation. It was an exclusive airing. This clip is about 12 minutes long, but I cut it down to only like 3.5 minutes of the interview of Mr. David Grush. So without any further ado, I'll just play it. Sound good, Mike?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
We're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow.
We have all seen these blurry videos of unidentified flying objects. Video evidence, if you will, that old tales of UFOs may not all be conspiracy theories. In recent years, Congress starting an official U.S. government Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, recently renamed the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO. And now in a News Nation exclusive, David Grush, an Air Force veteran, former member of that task force, and veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, is formally blowing the whistle on secrets he says no one has ever shared publicly before.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the U.S. defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
Grush sitting down with award-winning investigative journalist Ross Coulthart, who's reporting for News Nation and has spent years reporting on the UFO question.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No. I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived. It was a ruse. People started confiding in me. They approached me. I have plenty of current and former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
Grush alleges the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the Intelligence Community Inspector General. News Nation has confirmed David Grush's credentials and resume. We've not seen or verified the alleged proof he says he's provided to investigators. He says he can't show us the proof for national security reasons. He also tells us he's not seen photos of the alleged craft himself, but has talked extensively with other intelligence officials who have.
If you're right, if you're telling us the truth, everyone, the entire American public, has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well,
non-human?
naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
Okay, Mike. Taking that all in, and again, that's just a brief portion of the interview. What are your vibes? What are your feelings? What are your thoughts?
You know, I am still having a hard time, as much as I want this to be like the top real event, like the beginning of disclosure. I still have the feeling of deception somewhere. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't know if I put things together, like listening even to his tone. A lot of this that he's going by is just from what he's heard from other people in this high up organization, and it's his highest top secret level that he has. It's like he hasn't seen these things. He's just taking it on from what he hears. And in his position, he can use his title for taking what he's heard and push that as, reality. But is it disinformation is given to him? Is it him that going rogue from what he does in his high up, position and being an actual whistleblower? There's a lot of questions.
Oh, there's so many, Mike, and you nailed a lot of it right there that I agree with. I'm glad you used the term deception, because we hate being negative Nellies, and no offense to anybody named Nelly out there. But are we just so trained to believe?
We have been since the beginning, and not like we're trained monkeys or anything.
Mm-hmm.
No offense.
No offense to your breast,
but
monkey. Yeah.
But anyway, that is such a thing. If you believe in this kind of a conspiracy theory, that we have been conditioned, and over the years, slowly, like subliminally through commercials or music or whatever, however deep you want to go down that rabbit hole. If stuff like that has been going on, been slowly conditioned to where we're at today, maybe they're slowly unconditioning us, or maybe it's just part of keeping us conditioned. Depends on how far you want to go with it, how, what kind of a conspiracy theorist you want to be. It's just, they've got us so confused because of this is real, this isn't real, this is not real, but look at how, real it looks. We can't believe anything.
That's the thing. It's like, oh man, it's maddening, isn't it, Mike? I mean, that's
the frustration you were talking about.
It is, and I can see it in your face too.
I was feeling it when I was talking about it.
It's I hate to. I'm not suggesting this, and I know Mike isn't suggesting this is what we are thinking either. But it's hard for us to wrap our minds around it and make a decision either way, a firm decision either way.
Right.
Because
as much as I want to believe, as much as I believe it myself by the few things that I have seen and the faith that I have, I believe in all this stuff in it, but it's just too confusing.
What are the chances? And again, I'm not suggesting this, but we have to ask the questions. What are the chances that David Grush is like a pawn in the hands of
absolutely,
even the higher ups, is like, well, let's put this guy out here. Maybe he's innocent totally, and he is unaware that he's being used in such a manner.
It's very possible.
And again, I'm not suggesting that, but we have to question it. Part of that disinformation, like we'll throw this out to the to the legions, and we'll have them chew on this for a while we're actually doing some other perhaps slightly more illicit and I don't want to go down too far in that rabbit hole, but it's you have to question it. You question everything. You have to.
Yeah, it's like let's leak out just this much to this high level person, and let's see what happens. Let's see how the public and how how they react, how many believe it, how many don't believe it. They could be testing waters even.
And then what are the chances of there being legit secret government programs that are obviously being kept secret from the rest of the government? The rest. I mean, there's, what I mean? There's secrets within secrets. That's
that other classic theory.
Well, didn't he mention that? He's like, even the UAP program we were not even aware. These other higher officials told him that there's this other program going on that he had never heard of.
This crash retrieval program. And even, he said UAP. I mean, where did that even come from? Why all of a sudden, this is just a small thing, but it's something that I think about once in a while. Why all of a sudden it's like, no, we can't call them UFOs anymore.
Yeah, it bothered you when you first heard this.
Yeah, it's like, why does it have to be UAP now? Who has called them UAP? Is it this program that they want their labels on it? They want their information. It's been UFO for so long. UAP, that sounds more official. That's what we're going to use. That's what we're going to call it. It's a part of that little tiny piece of the control that they have over this. They're going to change it to what they want to call it.
That's a great way of looking at it. And
or was it come up? Did it come from even just the media? I don't know where it came from, so I can't say for sure. But
I was going to jokingly suggest, we're in an age where everyone is so easily offended by everything. It's like, is it politically correct or something? Do they not want to offend, unidentified flying objects? They don't want to be labeled as such anymore, so they have to make sure to appease them.
And we don't want to piss off those aliens. Right. Because they got the bigger laser guns.
Right. So we'll give it that more broad title there, the UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. So, I mean, I guess whatever. It is kind of annoying. It's one of those things when I go to promote something like regarding this episode, I'll try maybe put out a little tweet about it, and I'll do like hashtag UFO and like, oh wait, I got to do hashtag UAP as well.
Well,
I mean, that's just
I'll
how it
still
goes.
use UFO, but I'll see what happens. I don't know.
So, I mean, just because we have a lot of stuff we want to get to, just kind of wrap up on the David Grush whistleblower story. Again, I might repeat myself a little bit, but if this is 100% legit, it just blows my mind that it seems to be, again, kind of, turn your head and we're going to sweep it under the rug. And, hey, no big deal. Kind of like Bill Murray and Caddyshack.
Mm-hmm.
It's no big deal. Okay, it's no big deal. It just seems like, to me, there hasn't been nearly as much of a monumental reaction to this. I mean, maybe it has, and I just haven't noticed, but I really, there's something fishy about it. I'll just put it as such. But which way is it fishy? We don't know, do we, Mike?
No. It will be continued to be thought about and researched as it happens.
I do have audio of that alien in the backyard. Sorry. See, that would be awesomely...
Was it dancing to Fat Boy Slim?
Right. See, that would be awesomely creepy. If you look, what would you rather see, Mike, in your backyard? this 8-foot-tall alien or Christopher Walken just dancing away in your backyard?
Christopher Walken, definitely. And the alien dancing with him.
Yes, exactly. Wow, that'd be a great video. Talk about going viral. Woo!
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Maybe we just gave some people some
I would
ideas.
definitely pull him to the side and say, Chris, I'd really like to know what's really happened to Natalie Wood. I really want to know.
Oh, well, you had to go down there, didn't you? You had to go down that path.
Hey, maybe that's just a possible hint into our next true crime episode.
Oh, good golly, Miss Molly, that's a good idea. That'd be one way down in the future because we have the true crime one coming up, and again, just a quick. We know our schedule sometimes is probably maddening to our listeners because the last few weeks we've been on Sundays, and then for a while before we were in
co-host sometimes. Anyway, go ahead.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
It's not my fault.
I'm just kidding.
Then we switched to like midweeks, and then we're going back on Friday again. You know, I'm just going to say this right now, unless other podcasters know different, are different than me, and they know different. I think this whole you get more podcasts when you publish them on a certain day of the week is a bunch of hooey. I haven't noticed any difference at all. We've tried.
We're just going to do them when we poop them out, and that's
pretty much
the way
it.
It's going to be.
That's pretty much it. Our schedule is we have no schedule. That's pretty cool. But we are guaranteed to get content out weekly.
Yes, and it is more, and the video thing is going. Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
It's evolving nicely.
By the way, Mike, on air production meeting. I think you like the idea of doing our. We had Patreon exclusive sub-series, like our creature features, our creepy features, our commentary and breakdown episodes of like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and so on and so forth. I'm thinking about making those YouTube exclusive episodes.
Why not? Yeah.
So not only will you have like this is the perfect week. You'll have the flagship podcast released to everybody. The audio will be released on YouTube as well, and then maybe we'll have the video exclusive creature features, the video exclusive creepy features, and so on and so forth. I think that'd be kind of cool if we managed that, Mike. If we made that work.
I think that sounds fantastic, and it's all free.
All free. All free. All right, let's play. Just because I want to listen to our silver-haired fox, the one and only Mr. Michio Kaku.
Michio Kaku.
He did make an appearance on I believe it was News Nation again regarding all of this hullabaloo. And, well, without any further ado, I'm just going to play the brilliant Michio Kaku and his take on the matter.
Well, journalists say, follow the money. We physicists say, follow the evidence. Follow the people who have access to the evidence. Now, this is right out of a Hollywood script. In the past, we've had farmers and suburbanites say they saw something out there. The burden of proof was on them to prove that they were extraterrestrial visitations. Now the burden of proof has shifted. Now the Pentagon has to prove that these aren't extraterrestrial. And now we have this senior Pentagon official, former Pentagon official David Garouche, who says that there are evidence of not just the wreckage of UFOs, but an intact vessel, perhaps even the bodies. And again, the difference is that this is no longer just a farmer or a suburbanite saying they saw something out there. Now there is a debate within the Pentagon itself at the highest level, with different people within the military contradicting each other. And so I think that this is a good thing, because now perhaps the truth will come out.
So one of the claims that David Grush makes is that the evidence he has witnessed suggests that of the crash wreckage, some of the crash wreckage that's been retrieved, the elements are not of human origin. And he also states that they've recovered pilots, maybe singular, but it seemed as though it was of non-human species. And I can only imagine that that sort of gets your spidey senses tingling. What are your thoughts about that kind of possibility?
Well, I'm a scientist. We have to be open to the truth and to data. That's what we physicists work on. The more information we get, the better. Now, so far, we have not seen the smoking gun. We have not seen evidence of DNA, for example, from these alien bodies. We haven't seen alien transistors and alien circuits. That would clinch it right there. No ifs, ands, or buts. As soon as we have alien DNA or an alien chip, end of story. However, we're not there yet, because we just have eyewitness accounts of people who've encountered these things, but we don't have the smoking gun. And until we have the smoking gun, we scientists have to reserve our final judgment. But the very fact that we're talking about this at all is amazing. The burden of proof has shifted. Now the Pentagon has to prove that these aren't extraterrestrial. This is, I think, a milestone.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you and I are talking about this, and not because it was on, News of the World or a supermarket tabloid, is pretty remarkable. This is coming from a man who was an Air Force veteran, former member of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. He's a whistleblower. He's not, a quack. And so I'm, on one hand, I can't quite believe that there's a non-human pilot that was recovered. On the other hand, sometimes I wonder if we just think we're way smarter than we are. And by the way, Dr. Kaku, you're one of the smartest people I've ever encountered. Do you sometimes think we're only at the nascence of universal knowledge?
Yeah, I think we're just beginning to understand how gorgeous this universe is. The fact that we've now seen so many planets orbiting other star systems, they could be homeworlds to other intelligent beings. And we now have a census of the Milky Way galaxy. Every star, on average, has a planet going around it. In other words, think about it, 100 billion planets minimum in your backyard in the Milky Way galaxy. And that's why I think that to assume that there's nobody out there is ridiculous. Of course they're out there. The only debate is to whether or not they can reach us, but yes, they are out there.
Well, then there's the debate, discussion, or fear, you can pick any of those, that they may be unfriendlies, they may be hostile. They may look at us as a nuisance rather than something that's fascinating, if that is the fact, if they do actually exist. Can you speak to the issue of hostility? And this, it seems like we're talking pie in the sky here, but if there is an issue of hostility, do we globally have a scientific community that can convince our political leaders around the world that we are far stronger as one than trying to be the leaders in whatever our programs are discovering?
Well, if you walk down a trail in a forest and you encounter a squirrel, do you go out there and try to conquer the squirrel and his habitat? No, maybe you want to try to talk to the squirrel. Eventually you get kind of bored because the squirrels don't talk back to you. But in the same way, if the aliens can reach us from outer space, they are hundreds, thousands of years more advanced than us, and we're simply not a threat to them. They could have done damage to us decades ago, but here we are talking about it. So I don't fear for them. However, there's always a possibility of what happened to Montezuma in Mexico City when Cortez and his troops came. The Cortez had gunpowder, he had the horse, he had, we think, smallpox, he had all the weaponry necessary to devastate the Mexican civilization. And so I think that we should not reach out to them and advertise our existence until we know what their intentions are. So I'm all in favor of the SETI project, which is to scan the heavens to look for intelligent life in outer space. But I don't think we should deliberately announce our existence to the alien neighbors we have in our neighborhood until we find out what their intentions are.
Your thoughts, Mike? The wonderful,
that's pretty awesome.
The wonderful Michio Kaku.
I do love that man. I'm not ashamed to say.
A dream guest that will probably never happen, but I can't.
Never happen.
I can't say that though. We have to just be positive. We have to just start throwing that out into the ether and say it will happen. It will happen. It will happen. So.
Well, I wonder if we could at least get a few strands of his hair. Maybe.
Does his hair talk? Would it be a good interview subject?
Do you know any ventriloquism? We can put out a hell of a show.
Oh man, you can attach some of his hair to your monkey. and we can totally use that somehow.
Okay, we gotta. Oof, okay,
so
let's drop that.
When I kind of giggle a little bit because I love his analogies. Though he's such a good storyteller. Even
it makes it so easy to understand things that
even off the cuff, he's not prepared, but he still has these great analogies, and I love that. He's like, well, do you try to conquer the squirrels and its habitat?
Yeah, right away. I was gonna say, but I didn't want to interrupt. I was they can come and steal our nuts. Right. I didn't want to, But anyway,
so I think we've all come to an agreement. We've all, as in like you and I and Bridget, when she used to co-host the show, we tend to feel, and rightfully so, as Mikio Kaku believes as well, that if aliens exist, they are so far beyond us in development and intelligence and what have you. It makes you wonder, it's like, why would they bother?
Yeah.
But
why do they need what we have?
But then it also goes back to, well, is it coincidental that all this aerial phenomena seemingly, no pun intended, took off after we were able to develop the atomic bomb? Perhaps not, right?
Yeah.
They're not enjoying what we're doing.
Yeah, well, once we came to that point in our history, that's a game changer for beyond our planet. Yeah. So, they had to. They know what they need to keep an eye on.
And as Mikio says, though, I mean, it's basically, I'm really kind of putting words in his mouth, but we know what he means. It's like it's mathematically impossible to be the only form of intelligent life in this universe.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
So we just have to accept that fact. It's just whether or not they've been here. We think that they have, or we are definitely open-minded to that possibility.
And I believe in the thought of them always have been here.
I know. It's
and
a whole nother rabbit hole, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And, and if that's the case, they've had plenty of time. Like you said, they could destroy us at any time. He doesn't fear them. But, the hiding part as far as, not reaching out to them until we know their intentions. I mean.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. What do you disagree with Mikio on that one?
Well, I don't. We can't hide like that. And it's not like, he was talking about hiding, but that's the way it feels to me. And how are you going to find out what their intentions are if you're just, you don't reach out, you don't know.
Yeah, until it's too late, right?
Exactly. So.
Yeah, no, I kind of feel you on that one too. That last comment of his is kind of like, well, but again, he's far smarter than you. And I, obviously.
Well, thanks for putting the "and I" in.
Well, the thing is, I paused. It was a horrible time to pause, and I realized how awful that sounded. So I wasn't going to stop right there. He's far more smart. I do not
question Patrick's in his.
Oh my God!
Extreme intelligence.
That was a horrible time for me to take a break.
I accept my inferior intelligence.
I got it.
Just kidding. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's
one thing before we forget about Mike and move on to the 911 call and the other news clip. The idea, the notion, the possibility of this military operation that is undergoing right now under all of our noses. I think kind of the preferred term is psyops, Mike. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about with Mr. David Grush, maybe possibly being a pawn himself and all this deception that's going on. But psyops is basically, how do you want to say this? It's basically a form of brainwashing almost through like propaganda. Do you say propaganda or propaganda, Mike?
I say propaganda.
Yep, propaganda. I mean,
if I was from another country, I would probably say propaganda.
So that's just, I wanted to make sure to throw out this idea of we briefly mentioned it, like, the secrets within the secrets, is there something that's going on under all of our noses that we're all being manipulated, without even realizing it. And Our minds are being changed under the cover of darkness, Mike.
To a certain degree and a certain level, I believe that's happening. I mean, I don't think all of us are
and this is I'm talking about going on
being
between,
affected by it.
This is what I'm talking about, potentially going on within the military and the government itself. Like one half is trying to manipulate the other half without them realizing.
Oh, sure. I see what you're saying.
And that's terrifying. If that's legitimately possible. I mean, my gosh, that throws such a wrench into everything.
It is possible and probably has happened.
Again, which is just terrifying. I mean, who do you trust? Nobody, right?
Yeah.
Well, Mike,
trust
moving
nobody
on.
And take it as it comes and hope for the best.
Let's play that 9/11 call.
Yes.
Again, this call was originally placed in late April. This was not after this disclosure, this David Grush interview, this whistleblower. It's kind of how it got misinterpreted online, going viral and stuff. But this happened back in late April, and then we're going to also play another clip of the police officers responding to this 911 call. So this was the last day of April, I believe, going into May 1st. 911. Here we go.
Okay, what's going on over there?
Okay, lady. Me, my dad, and my brother, we're working on a truck in our backyard, and we have a big lot outside, right? Correct?
Okay.
We were working, and we just see in a corner of our eye something fall down from the sky, and it was with light, and when it hit down, it was like a big impact, and we felt it. We felt like an energy, and then we hear like a lot of footsteps near us, and then we have a big equipment, and we see, and there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's beside it, and it has big eyes and it's looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Mike.
I like that.
Mike.
He sounded pretty sincere. He sounded frightened, nervous. And I give kudos to the 911 operator for handling it the way she did. I mean, there was no snicker or nothing. She was like taking it as it came. So,
yep, and she kept, making sure to say there are two subjects, in your backyard. Gosh, it's tough. I mean, I've listened to this call several times. And like you said, we get the vibe of it being authentic, and it has been essentially authenticated as not being a hoax,
right?
As in, this family were truly scared. They truly did not know what the hell was in their backyard. Now, what were they seeing in their backyard? Well, again, we weren't there. We don't know, but
yeah,
it's just kind of makes you scratch your head. This is happening when all this is coming to pass, apparently. Even though this was recorded in late April, something's amiss, but something's out there. Did that make sense at all? I mean, there's something that's wishy-washy about it, but I can't put my finger on it, but I'm not dismissing it.
Maybe we're just feeling the whole the soupy mixture that whatever agency or whatever you want to talk about is putting together and spinning. I don't know, because there's truth here, there's cover up here, there's non-truth here. There's a whole. It just feels like one big mess of something.
Like you said, a soupy mixture.
Right? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like.
Don't ever use that phrase again, though. By the way, that gave me the willies.
If you think about like a good beef stew, but then there's a few bad ingredients put in, like sauerkraut or something, it doesn't belong.
Yeah, okay.
But it's there, but it's put there for a reason.
Okay.
And not a good reason. Although I love sauerkraut and I love beef stew, but together, no.
Doesn't go together.
Yeah.
So this is like a whole UFO, UAP, alien, soupy mixture. But there's something that's out of place that just isn't making it that tasty. That
there's just questions, and and maybe all those questions could be answered in a favorable way for disclosure or truth.
Let's play that news clip that included the officers who reacted to this 911 call. Okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro Police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm so nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. I've only thought a shooting star, then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard? Or
they see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear? They're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey. If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is.
Oh, I forgot to cut off the end of that clip. But the officers were kind of joking there at the very end, though. If these 9-foot creatures return, don't call us, they say.
Yeah. Well, they seem serious enough when they were investigating.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were doing their job. They were, this was a scared family, and they needed to go check out what was going on. And we need to say that nothing was found in their backyard. They didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Didn't find any evidence of anything back there. But who's to say? It
doesn't mean that it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Previously.
Again, this just adds to that. I'm going to use it, even though I hate it. That soupy mixture of weirdness, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, something is happening, but what?
Yeah.
What is going on?
One of the police actually did see something falling as well. I mean, that's corroboration there.
And that's on the body cam footage. You can find that on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's right there. They're talking to another family on another unrelated incident, and bam, you see this blue light just crashing through the sky. So that's pretty incredible to capture that. What was that? Nothing, as far as I know, has been reported about what that was. Was it a comet?
I haven't seen any kind of a follow-up at all.
No.
And they, probably won't be unless they want to, push it a little further,
Mike, I feel like we could go on for freaking ever. What is it possible for you to put into words your final thoughts on everything we've talked about today? I mean, again, something is happening.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Well, that's why we're talking about it. How are you leaning, Mike? I always ask you this. What's your vibe? Do you think this is something cool, something bad, something
I think it's
legit?
awesome.
Something awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it is very awesome.
Earlier, though, you did say that as much as you want to believe 100% that this is, in regards to the disclosure, is this finally the beginning, a soft reveal, so to speak?
I would like to go with the soft reveal thing, but but it's still.
But you're shaking your head again. You're like
still quirky.
Yeah, there's
it's still quirky.
Something about it. Again, are we just so indoctrinated with not accepting things? You know, because we feel like we're being manipulated. We feel like we've been deceived so often that it's just like, nah. You know, I don't buy this one either.
Maybe it's a part of a deprogramming, in that they're bringing us out of it just enough to, have an idea of what's going on.
But overall, you have a good vibe about this. I mean, just these 3 stories together.
Yeah, I do have a good vibe about them, but I'll keep going back to that. There's still not enough. There's still questions. There's still, there's still stuff that's crap there somewhere. And there's still stuff that, I have faith that that's true,
Again, I like the analogy, Mike. I like the soupy mixture. I mean, it could taste okay overall, but it could be better. There's some ingredient in there that's throwing it all off. But what is that ingredient?
Yeah.
What is
Do you hear a noise in the background?
Yeah, I do hear something actually.
My air conditioner, I think, is freezing up.
Ah, darn it. Well, I guess there's worse things, right? It's not too hot today. I'm sorry.
No, but it feels good in here, nice and fresh. And
I hear
maybe that's why it's freezing up. It's an old air conditioner, and it's not hot enough out to keep it from freezing up.
Say, Mike, before we wrap it up, have you had any interesting, unexplainable experiences in your 140-year-old house lately?
Well, a couple of days ago, I think that I may have seen the ghost cat again, just a flash of it.
No kidding. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, I haven't seen that for quite a while.
Now, do you think that's the one that's been there for a while, or is this perhaps your recently passed on cat?
No, it was the same, brownish color of what I've seen before, with the fuzzy, out of focus cat and the, fluffy brown tail or whatever,
Damn.
So it would be that's probably been here for who knows how long.
Well, Mike, we have a new bit that we want to make. We want to turn into a regular portion of this episode. Do you have your creative ad-libbing mind working in full force right now?
On this one, I do not, but...
We do have a new bit, though. After we spend our entire episode focusing just wholeheartedly and sincerely in a very serious manner, I should say, on the topic at hand, then Mike reveals at the very end, but what you didn't know.
Yeah.
Mike, do you have anything at all you can throw out there? You can fine-tune this as we go on. This is only your second attempt.
Oh, yeah. I have nothing, but it's swamp gas. Did you know that it is just swamp gas?
Okay, that works. This is a work in progress, everybody. Trust me. This is going to turn into a bit that you're going to tune in to every episode, just waiting for Mike's final remarks of what you did not know. And throw away all this Mikio Kaku stuff. Throw away the David Grush whistleblower crap. Throw away the 9/11 alien phone call. Throw away these 10-foot tall beasts lurking in the backyard. Throw all that away. It's all swamp gas. And with that,
it's a possibility.
It's a possibility. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks, Mike, for making this work, man. You're making me uncomfortable how much you're holding your arm right now. So
I know I need to put my sling on.
You can go do that, man.
I'm going to go get my sling on.
Get your sling on, baby. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Again, if you want to support us, go subscribe on the YouTube page. We'd love to see you guys there. We really want to have that community grow. We're going to put more and more video content available out there for all you guys, hopefully for you to enjoy. In the meantime, everybody, what do all of our awesome listeners and friends need to do?
Peace out.